Sorry, I like cut out the music. I was trying to cut it out, like, it just as the song ended, but then the next song started. Oh no, meowdy y'all. Whoopi, what are you doing? Oh, she's sleeping. That's what she's doing. So we're gonna try something different today. Also, howdy Cal, howdy cat, meowdy y'all. So the thing is, I still have commissions to do, but the commissions that I have left to do are not good to stream on YouTube. But I was like, I still want to stream, and I still want to work on stuff. So I was like, well, I mean, I could do a hangout stream, but I still want to work on stuff. And I'm like, well, I can just work on stuff and just not share my screen with you guys. You can just see me, and we can just chat, and it could be a good time. So that's what I'm going to do, as I'm drawing things that your eyes cannot see on YouTube. You will be talking to me. Hang on. Sipping at me coffee. It's still morning here. 4 minutes. 4 minutes of morning is what we have. Anyway, before we get started, as per usual, I noticed I have a lot more new subscribers on this channel. So I'm gonna introduce you to... Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, it's still switched over. Anyway, I have a game. Look at it. Look at it. I have a game. Version 1.1 is out now. It is now polished and better than ever. It's good. Because after feedback from several people who have played the game, I was like, okay, I need to change some things. So there's big major change to the ending that makes it easier on everybody. And then there's also a just some small things that make it more polished and nice. And there's a lot more plot that's a lot more easily accessible. And people are already theorizing in my Discord, which you can join. There's a Discord in the description. You can join it. Everybody's free to join as long as you're not a creep. Anyway. Okay. And then there's also... Oh, we have music. Let me turn it back on. This music that you've been listening to. Hello? 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 Okay. We just listened to that. New song. This music. You can buy it for the low price of $2.50. $2.50. You can buy it. All of it. It's got music. The soundtrack. Anyway, there's also a giveaway going on. All you have to do is follow me, retweet this, and like it. And that's it. That's how you enter. You win. Bunch of mixed feelings related stuff. As in, shirt, stickers, a mug that says cappuccino, a sample tin tea based off your favorite character, or I could surprise you, and a postcard print based off your favorite character, or I could surprise you. So, that's what's going on right now. And now, look at me. I'm here. Look, there's an alien. There's an alien head in the background. Do you love him? I do. Oh. Let's make the chat look fancier. I love that mug. Let's move the chat box over. And I'm gonna change the look of this. Also, hello Sylvia. Chunky! What does chunky mean? Oh, chunky. If anybody talks, I will see it. But yes, hello? We are here. We are chatting. Well, that's soon. Yeah! December 1st. So how is everybody doing? Also, hello Jolly Juggalo. And I also said hi to Sylvia already. So, chatting. Oh, let's change the music. You don't have to listen to just mixed feelings music. You can listen to a large array of music. Anybody have any suggestions? Most of my music is case music and then music from games that we've played before. Oh, heck yeah. This is just Diddy Kong Racing music, I'm sorry. Yeah, the chat is chunky now. Hope you enjoy. But yeah. I hope y'all are doing well. I have had Pony Island. Pony Island. Let's go. Where are you, Pony Island? Let's go. How's the volume? Alright, I'll put it at 42. The answer to life, the universe, and everything. Okie doke. So now I'm gonna work on this. Not only is what I'm working on like not safe for work, it's like it's also a surprise, so I don't want anybody to see it. That is the point. I will try to refrain from talking about what I'm working on as I'm working on it, because you guys can't see it. Yes. But yeah, how is everybody? How is everybody? I've had a busy morning. Not too busy. I just had go get my birth control shot, which you get like every 3 months. 3 months ago, there were Planned Parenthood protesters out there, and that was the first time I'd seen them, which is crazy, because I've been going to that same office, that same clinic for a while now, but they now just decided, okay, time to protest, which is weird. It's interesting that they decided to start protesting in front of Planned Parenthood the time they decided to do that, because it was 3 months ago. I can't go backwards. October, September, August. So it was like not very long after the Jacob Blake thing happened around here. Have a bit of a migraine, but surviving. Please take care of your migraine. You don't have to talk to me. You don't have to talk to me in this stream if you have a migraine. Please don't sacrifice your health. I can talk. Health. Off until November 30th. That's rad. So like, I started seeing the Planned Parenthood protesters. There were only 2 of them around when the Jacob Blake shooting happened. And all those protests were going on, like the BLM protests. So I found that interesting that they started protesting then. It just seemed very strange. Trans Day of Remembrance Day. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, what the heck? What the heck, man? But yeah, it is Trans Day of Remembrance. Remember those passed away. Trans Day of Remembrance. Okay, I need to do my research. I'm assuming it's It's to remember those who either like were killed in like hate crimes because of them being transgender, or those who like took their lives. I'm assuming, but I don't want to like make assumptions. I just haven't like looked. Memory of get out of here, pop up. Memory of transgender people whose lives were lost in accident to transgender. Okay, I was right. But yeah, good day to be aware. Why? Yeah, I'm assuming that they just didn't know. But if they did know that it was Transgender Day of Awareness, that they would just protest that instead. You know. Anyway, that's dark. But. Alright, I'm back. Okay. Sorry about that. Somebody was knocking on my door. So you guys have a hard time hearing me over the music? I'm correct about both. Alright, I hope the music is okay now. It's still a little loud. Okay. I just speak softly most of the time and then I yell. I hope that's better. I hope that's better. So, where were we? Oh yeah, the protesters. So, the first time I saw the protesters, was around, like, after the Jacob Blake thing happened, right? And later, or when that happened, of course the signs they were holding up said "All Lives Matter." The funny part about this was they weren't wearing masks, so I found that kind of funny that they were like trying to say "All Lives Matter" in response to like the BLM protests, and like as a way to say, oh, all babies matter. All lives matter, so babies. This is the Pony Island soundtrack. The one that just played was Sanctuary. The one that's playing now is The Island. Also, hello, Soul. Welcome. So, sorry, I'm still like drawing, so I'm like, my brain keeps going blank, and I'm like, wait. No thoughts, head empty. So, what was I saying? This is very good to have a stream where I'm just talking and trying to stay on one train of thought, and I have ADHD. This is why this is a test stream. I believe in you guys. I trust you guys. This doesn't work out, it's fine. I just know for in the future, this won't work out. So we were talking about Planned Parenthood protesters that only appeared at my Planned Parenthood after the Jacob Blake thing happened, and there were BLM protesters. So they had signs that said all lives matter, and they weren't wearing masks, and I'm very disappointed in myself that I didn't say, hey, if all lives matter, why aren't you wearing a mask? Just so they can explain to me whatever bullshit thing they want to say. Whoops, swearing, but that's fine. It's bullshit. I'm gonna just say, oh, God wanted me to breathe, so I'm going to breathe. What? I don't know what anti-maskers say. So then I can just respond and be like, oh. So your body, your choice, huh? Thought of that after I left. I was like, damn it, I could have done it. I could have owned them in the best possible way. But no, I never did. So one of the same dudes was there again today. And, man, I don't know why, those Planned Parenthood protesters, they just think it's like abortion central at Planned Parenthood, when like 97% of the stuff they do isn't even abortions. Though, let's face it, they also think like contraceptives are of the devil too, so what are you gonna do? Oh yeah, I hate missed opportunities like that. When you think of like the best comeback ever, that's my life. I can never think of anything to say in the moment. I'm always so frazzled in the moment that I can't. There've been a few moments in my life where like I get bold and I do say things that are pretty solid in like moments of distress even. And then I look back and I'm like, dang, I'm really proud of myself. But most of the time, it's just like, nah, you don't think about it until later. But now I know. Next time I see them, I want to record it too. I want to record it. If they're there again, I will record it. Be like, hey, if all lives matter. They didn't have an All Lives Matter sign this time. So I was pretty upset about that, because I was gonna do it, and then they... Oh. So frustrating, because for many people, Planned Parenthood is the only care that they can get. Yeah. It's crazy. Like, I love... They don't do it anymore, unfortunately, probably because they don't have enough funding. But they had a... like an insurance thing basically the requirements to get fully covered for certain things like birth control, all sorts of like tests and stuff, pap smears and stuff, could just get completely covered by Planned Parenthood. The requirements were: do you have a uterus? Are you able to, like, would you get pregnant if, like, would you be able to get pregnant? Like, those were the requirements. Are you of the, like, do you have a period? Like, those were the requirements. I think they were even, like, smaller than that. But it's amazing. It's like, oh, then we're gonna cover this completely for free. That's like if, I mean, this is how it should be, but if, like, healthcare in general was like, can you get sick? Okay, then we will cover this entirely. Gosh, I wish America was like that. Currently not like that, but I wish someday in the future it's like that. Gosh, people... I figured this Just Chattin' stream would get just political, but, you know, that's fine. Friggin' train of thought, it's gone. But I hate when I say, like, I want free healthcare, and they're like, oh, it's not actually free, sweetie, and it's like... Sure it is! Like, oh, you have to pay taxes, and it's like, dude, if I have to pay a couple extra bucks to save somebody's life, that's why I pay taxes in the first place. But all those taxes don't go to saving lives. They go to bombing middle schoolers that play soccer in the Middle East. Anyway, we're getting too real. We're getting too real up in here. I'm so sorry. Let me mind control some coffee into my brain. There we go. Don't worry, according to the right, Biden is a radical communist, so we'll get that healthcare soon. I can't believe Biden... Okay. We're gonna continue to be political in here. Let's start this chat off being political. It's crazy to me that according to the right, that Biden is a crazy radical leftist, and he's not. It's funny to me because when Obama put Biden on his ticket, the whole reason he was put on the ticket is that so he would appeal to the right, to have just some humdrum, like, white guy that has mostly, like, like, right ideas. So the fact that people are like, oh, he's a leftist, oh, he's a radical leftist, I'm like, what? It's crazy. Politics are crazy. I've been thinking about lately how at a lot of jobs it's at an actual rule that they set down to be like, you're not allowed to talk about politics, right? Hello, Evie. Welcome. We're talking about politics. It's awful. What a great time. Anyway, a lot of jobs, like, one of, like, their rules is don't talk about religion or politics. My first job, that was, like, a very, like, strong rule. You're not allowed to talk about politics. You get in trouble if you do it. But, like, I feel like that's what kind of keeps Americans blind. Is that it's kind of, like, encouraged to continue to not know anything about politics, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm gonna be real. For the longest time, I was completely apathetic to politics. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I said I wouldn't talk about what I was working on. But I'm over here like, oh, there we go. Oh, that looks good, and you can't see it. Sorry. You already know what we're talking about. Oh. It's also crazy how you're also not, like, it's a rule in a lot of workplaces that you're not allowed to talk about your salary, which that is just straight up messed up. Because we think, oh, people will get mad if they find out what my salary is. No, that's not true. They're gonna get mad at their employer. Oh, wait. I'm not gonna... This song, I know it's supposed to be cutesy and stupid, but God, it's such a bop. Pony Island was probably one of my favorite games I've streamed so far. They tell us not to talk about politics too, like, you realize teachers for many are the last bastion of hope for the ignorant masses? That's crazy! As a teacher, you're not allowed to talk about politics? That's crazy. Did you guys hear? I don't remember where it was. God, what is that super alt, like, right PragerU? There was a some school district that was using, like, showing PragerU videos as part of the curriculum. That's insane to me. Those are like brainwash everybody. It's illegal to prevent salary talk? Well, at least workplaces I've been at, I don't know if they made it a rule, but it was kind of like frowned upon. Yeah, somewhere, like, I want to say, like, somewhere in the deep south, like South Carolina, Georgia, somewhere they made it part of the curriculum to watch PragerU videos, or, like, extra credit. I haven't watched a PragerU video, I've heard horror stories, though. "2020 is really gonna be wild to teach." It was wild to me, like, because I was still, like, in school when the 2000 election happened? Right, yeah, with Bush and Al Gore. That election was wild. It was, like, super close. And even as a kid, I was just like, dang, this is crazy to watch, even though I didn't hardly understand politics at that age. And it was crazy, like, years later, going to high school, taking, like, civics and economics, and then, like, learning, like, while Bush was still president, about that election, and being like, oh, I was there. Can't wait for a few years from now for 2020 to be taught in schools. I wonder how it's going to be framed. So, it would be my home state, South Carolina. Again, I'm not sure. But might have been. Evie, are you still in South Carolina? I don't know where you are right now. I don't need to ask where you live. Then you could tell everybody in my chat where you live, and then we'll find you. We're all gonna find you. Nah. I just forget where everybody lives all the time. It's my life. I forget where I live half the time. The other day, there was like a little drop-down box when I was filling out stuff for health insurance. And I almost checked that I was in Florida. 2020. Shit show. Yeah. That'll be fun. Please. God. There was like a point, at some point in school. See, I've never been to college. I never went to college. But I remember it was like middle school. One of my teachers said crap, and everybody in the class like got silent, and a few kids went, It was like, thinking about it now, it's really funny. So if I had a teacher that said shit show, I'd be like, oh. You're in Virginia. I've been to Virginia. I went to Jamestown. Virginia's really pretty. I went to the Busch Gardens in Virginia. HE double hockey sticks. God. Granted, I've never lived in Virginia. Remember we had one teacher who swore like a sailor? Oh my god. I know, like, swearing in the UK isn't as taboo as it is in America. He got fired for repeatedly swearing. I mean, that'll do it. You were part of the Virginia Values campaign. That's rad. It's always cool to, like, be part of that kind of stuff. Went to a demonstration in Milwaukee. Just a Black Lives Matter demonstration. It was, like, powerful. My legs were tired by the end of it. We were just marching the streets for a while. I want to say like 3 hours. It was pretty intense. But it's always just so, like, empowering to, like, be a part of stuff like that. Been in trouble for swearing a lot. Oh no. I feel like swearing doesn't hurt anybody. It really depends. Like, slurs, don't say those. But swears, just to, like, add flavor to your vernacular, to your vocabulary, it has never, it doesn't hurt anybody unless you're, like, swearing at someone. Yeah, thank you for working so hard, Evie. If you're able to, and there are, like, demonstrations near you, go to them. It's a powerful experience. Wow. Oh, sorry, moment of silence. I don't know how to do these chatting streams. But I can keep the conversation going. So I'm excited because here in a few days starts the onslaught of never-ending holidays and celebrations. The end of the year now for me has, like, doubled in, like, importance. Because, you know, the end of the year, you got, especially in America, you got Thanksgiving at the end of November, then you got Christmas a month later, and then you got New Year's, right? Oh, it's gotten so much bigger for me because at the end of November I also have my anniversary, and then next month it's my partner's birthday at the beginning of the month. It's also my mom's birthday at the beginning of the month. Normally we go to MFF, but clearly that's not going to be happening this year. So it's just so much. It's just like, oh, hey, anniversary, or sometimes Thanksgiving first. Oh, hey, Thanksgiving. Oh, it's your mom's birthday. Oh, it's your partner's birthday. Oh, it's Christmas. Oh, hey, it's a new year. Sometimes there's MFF somewhere in between. Yeah, that's kind of why I was like, I'm gonna close commissions for December. Because now, like, I just want to be able to celebrate and hang out. That's so many things. It's so many things. Yeah, I'm actually working on one of my anniversary presents right now. That's why it's secret. That's why it's secret. You can't see. Constant party. Mind control the coffee into my brain. I know I'll have a good time. Oh, so speaking of Christmas, my stepmom messaged me and was like, hey, what do you want for Christmas? And I was like, I can give you my Amazon wish list if you want. And she was like, sure. So I sent her my Amazon wish list. And then my dad texted me a few days later and is like, hey, if you get a present if you get a package from Amazon, don't open it till Christmas. Which is funny because I have several things from Amazon on the way here for gifts for various occasions, and also like things to winter-proof my house. So I was like, well, shoot. well, shoot. So today I had my buzzer ring and I was like, oh, I guess that's like either an anniversary present to me or that's the present from my dad. So I go into the mailroom and there's this box that just has a picture of a fire pit on the side and says fire pit 22 inches. I wonder if I can bring up the image. Hang on. I can just find it. Because I posted it on Twitter. Because I thought it was so funny. Oh! No. Okay. This is it. This is what the box looks like. And I was like, well, I know what it is. Who gave this to me? So I texted Case, I'm like, Case, did you give me a fire pit for our anniversary? Thank you. I'm so excited. I'm gonna put it together. And they're like, I didn't give you a fire pit. And so I texted my dad an image of this and I was like, is this my Christmas present? And he was just like, well, wow. I mean, you can open it. So, I don't know if it showed. I don't want to take a caffeine pill. Also, hello, Grace. The joke is, I'm drinking coffee, but you can't see it. So you might hear me gulp down coffee, but you don't actually see the coffee. It's a mystery. I just drink it with my mind. Did you guys actually see that picture? Because sometimes OBS doesn't listen to me, and the hotkeys don't work. But yeah, I'm gonna have a fire pit. And probably after stream, I'm gonna put it together. I'm gonna have a fire on my roof. My roof yard. Okay, cool. There's a bit of a lag. It's not too bad, but there is a bit of a lag. It's raid weekend in Destiny. That's exciting. I want to get into Destiny. But my dilemma is I grew up I never played first-person shooter games growing up. I played plenty of like shooter games, but like not really shooter games. Games that have shooting in them, and generally the shooting part is my least favorite part. So like Uncharted, I love Uncharted. I play on very easy specifically so I can have auto aim and not have to worry too much about shooting because I hate it. I mean, heck, when I played LA Noire, there were like shooting segments that I was so bad at that the game would be like, "Do you want to skip this part?" And I'd be like, "Yes, please, please let me skip this part." I wanted to get into Destiny 1 so bad, but I just didn't enjoy the loop of replaying the game over and over. I didn't know that was a thing in Destiny 1. See, what I've played so far of Destiny 2, I just played like the tutorial and did like one quest. It was amazing. It's just I can't, since my brain isn't already conditioned to like know how to play an FPS. It was so frustrating, I'm sure, for Case to watch me, that like I couldn't even get like the camera right. I couldn't get in a position where like the camera was comfortable to me. I love watching it though, it's gorgeous. And I love the lore that I hear. I think you kind of need someone who already understands the game loop to bring you in. It took me several tries and I didn't get it until I had a friend take me through my first raid. Pony Island soundtrack's over. Anybody else have any suggestions for music of past games we played, or Case music, or... That's all I have, essentially. I will wait for suggestions. In the meantime, I'm gonna play something. That. But yeah, I love the aesthetic of Destiny. The gameplay it is great, and I know that. It's just because it's a type of game that it kind of like expects you to already know how to play first-person shooters, I feel. Not to mention, like, my brain still has a hard time getting used to like modern games in general. I don't know what it is. After PS2, everything just seemed too complex for me. I got into Uncharted. Uncharted was fun. The fourth one was alright. It was gorgeous. But it was more or less the same thing. Also, I didn't care for the story. Any fat jams. Night in the Woods. Oh, I don't have Night in the Woods yet. Oh no. I wonder if... After I'm done with Night in the Woods, I will definitely get that soundtrack. I love the soundtrack. I don't have Dust Force. Do I have something similar to Night in the Woods? I have... I have... the Off soundtrack. And let's see. I also have Ebe. I have what the heck? I have Witch's House somewhere. Witch's House has okay music. I have a few Silent Hill songs. I believe I have the Firewatch soundtrack somewhere. I'm missing a lot of stuff. You know what? Let's do Off. Gotta love Off. Too bad the guy who wrote it was a piece of shit. See, I don't know, like, the whole story. I don't know if there was more information that was released. That whole thing, like, from every perspective was, like, a really... It just... I don't want to sound like I am defending this guy at all. All I've really heard about it, and it's like, if there was more information, like, I would want to know. All I really heard about this was somebody on the team, Zoe was her name, I think, came forward and said this guy, I forget his name, abused her. And from what I understand, from what I've heard, this guy's sister, after he had committed suicide, said that he was in therapy to, like, kind of better himself from, like, when he abused. Like, I don't know if it was, like, because he was an abuser and he wanted to get better, or if there were, like, other reasons, or that was part of it. I don't know. That's what I heard anyway, is that he was in therapy to, like, better himself, to make things right. And if that really is the case, then that sucks. That sucks from every perspective. But I think there's a lot more, like, nuance to the story than, oh, this guy was a piece of shit and then he got bullied into killing himself. I don't know, I was like, I never think it's like, not never, but like, it's always sad to hear, regardless of who, like, no, that's not true. It's very sad to hear, like, that somebody was bullied into killing themselves, even if they were a piece of shit. Like, there's just something about that. I know this is, like, a heavy subject, but I mean, we're just chatting. He had been in therapy before. The revelations were tied to the fact that he hadn't improved as much as his coworkers thought in prior incidents. Ah, I see. Okay, that does change things a bit, but still, it's just really sad that, I don't know. Like I said, it's like, there's a lot of, like, there's probably a lot more of this story that we're not hearing. I'm not defending the guy, of course, but I always think, like, especially with, like, complicated situations like this, that there's way more to the story than we are hearing. There's always way more to the story than we're hearing. Oh no. Yeah, he wasn't really bullied. People spoke out about him and he couldn't take it. Regardless, it's still a sad story. Honestly, like, that being a kind of like a permanent piece of this game, of Night in the Woods, is part of the reason the game feels so haunting to me. Cause he co-wrote it, right? Yeah. I did see some people be like, haha, good riddance when this guy killed himself. And I was like, how? Like, that sucks. It's such a complicated thing. It's such a complicated thing to, like, I've seen so many, like, people will say that people deserve death, and it's like, okay, I disagree. I feel like everybody should have a chance to change, and sometimes people don't change, and that sucks. But, like, man, people who are saying that don't reflect the attitudes of people involved in the incident. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Soul. Yeah, people, like, directly involved in the incident. Yeah, I everybody involved in the incident, like, was probably, like, devastated by everything that happened, or what everything amounted to. Scott Benson and one other friend wrote all of the story. Okay, Holovka only did the score. Yeah, like I didn't say it when, like, during the stream, because I didn't want to, like, put on, like, kind of, like, ruin the stream for everybody, but when I, like, commented on the soundtrack, I was like, wow, this soundtrack's really beautiful. And then Soul, I think it was Soul, was like, yeah, too bad the guy who wrote it was a piece of shit. And then it all clicked together. I was like, oh, wow. This soundtrack was written by somebody who's dead now. And that made the soundtrack, like, 10 times more haunting to me. Like, it was just a strange feeling that I can't really describe. Night in the Woods really is something. Not just because of that, but it's just in general, it's really something. But I feel like it's even more something now that there's a story behind the story. Anyway, I should probably stop talking about this. It's kind of a bummer, but I don't know, like, stuff like this interests me. But I understand it could be, like, a bummer to everybody else. Nuance. Yeah, it makes it like 10 times more powerful. Not 10 times more, but it does make it feel like it has a different feeling to it. Benson and some other folks are making a new game. Cool! I'm excited for it. Yeah, Night in the Woods has been really, like, I say this a lot about the games that I play on stream, but I really didn't expect to like it that much. Like, I knew what I was going in for. Oh man, I just got hit with hunger. And I'm like, whoa. Why am I so hungry? Probably because I haven't eaten it all the day. Ren's art. Ooh. Yeah, I'm excited. I will play anything that studio or that team releases. Because wow, I don't know if I've ever, like, the writing in it is just superb. It's just superb. Farting on an empty stomach, bad. Well, see, here the thing is, I usually don't eat until around like noon. People are like, that's not healthy. I'm like, actually, it's not healthy to eat first thing in the morning. Did you know? Did you know? At Dirt Secret. I wonder if I already follow them. That sounds familiar. I'm gonna check. Oh heck! I know them. Not personally, but I have seen their art before. That's crazy! I think I know them tangentially. Or I know her. Tangentially. I'm gonna follow. There are so many people that I just know tangentially. It's always weird when you find out you have friends in common with somebody. I have so many funny stories. So I have this friend from Sweden who I've known since I was like 16. For those of you who don't know, I'm 28 now. So I've known this person 12, and I have talked to them on and off. There have been like a few years in between some of the talks we've had. So we'll like fall out of communication, and then they'll message me and be like, hey, remember me? And I'm like, yeah, duh, of course I remember you. What? Are you crazy? Yeah, their trans deer character's really cute. But y'all, I have the worst ADHD. My brain was just talking about something and then it's just gone. Where did it go? What was I talking about? There's a lag, so it might be a bit before anybody tells me what I was talking about. I just started thinking about the trans deer character, and then now here I am. Like, what was I talking about? Oh, too gay thinking about trans deers. I also have a trans deer character. I think I had their character like at the back of my mind when I was designing my character Luneth. Luneth? How do I want to pronounce that? I don't know. Luneth sounds like an elf. Oh, my friend. My Swedish friend. So, we'd known each other 12 years. And one day, it was like 2 or 3 years ago, it was their birthday on, and they mentioned something like, oh, it's my birthday. And then I see, lo and behold, Case reply to them and be like, happy birthday. And then I was like, wait. And then I messaged my friend Air, this my Swedish friend, and I was like, you know Case? And they were like, you know Case? And I was like, yeah. I don't know if at this point I was living in Kenosha or if we were just like friends. But then like a couple years later, like we hadn't talked in a while, we like sent like snaps back and forth of each other's cats. And a few years later, they messaged me again like, okay, I knew you knew Case, but now you're dating them and I'm confused. This is just how life works. Oh no, it's the meat song. Let's skip it. So, apparently Case had like known them for like several years. And that's just crazy that we had friends in common with somebody in Sweden. Somebody in Sweden. That's so far away. This has happened a few times with my cousin as well. Like I'll see on Facebook that we have friends in common, And I'm like, how do you know so-and-so? And he's like, I worked with them. I'm like, whoa. But I mean, that makes sense because everybody like works in the same place in Florida. Disney. Except Disney's a big place. So, it's a very small world. After all. It's a tiny planet, I guess. I have so many small world stories. What's another one I have? Gosh. Oh, I have a few. This one's funny. Occasionally, I will get a message from somebody who has followed my work for a while. Because I've been making content on the internet since I was like 16. And that's how Air found me. But I will have people who followed me for a bit just DM me and be like, "Hey, hold on. What? You know Case? What the heck?" Because for some reason, our content, there's been a lot of overlap with like our audiences. So generally, like people who used to watch my stuff when I was 16 migrated to the Homestuck fandom because I made Kingdom Hearts stuff. When Homestuck got popular, because when I started making content, I want to say it was around like 2008, because that's when I started making content in 2008. That's when Homestuck came out. 2000, when I don't know, you know Homestuck. Anyway, Homestuck got popular a few years later. The same people from the Kingdom Hearts fandom, a lot of them migrated to Homestuck, found Case's stuff, because they were a big content creator in the Homestuck fandom. However, I kind of dabbled in Homestuck. I made some content, but at this point I wasn't really making a whole lot of fan content. So there's this like common story that I hear a lot where people will find out who I am and then be like, "Wait a minute, did you make these videos back in 2008?" And I'm like, yes, I did. And they're like, "What?" It's such a small world. And a lot of our friend circles have just been like so parallel. It's just crazy to me. But freaking, the world is just so small. My favorite story so far that somebody has come to me with has been, I don't know if she's here. Mo, she's the IZ fan for life, comes to the stream sometimes. This is a crazy web of small world funniness. So, Mo, found Case's stuff kind of recently, and really liked their stuff. And then so I did all the art for Crowside, all the album art for Crowside, and then they saw that and they were like, they recognized my art style, and then they saw it was me, and they were like, "Wait a minute, I used to watch their videos. What the heck? I guess they're friends? That's crazy. They know each other? What?" And then like one of their streams, I was just sitting there and they were like, they just live in the same building, and then like they just learned more and more like, oh, they're just straight up dating, okay. And they're like, that's so weird, because apparently Mo, when they were very young, like middle schooler, that's when they were into my stuff, which is just crazy to me because middle schoolers shouldn't be watching my stuff, but they were. They shouldn't have been watching my stuff, but they were. But anyway, so Mo was talking to their friend's sister, and they were like, so they were talking about my stuff to their friend's sister, and she was like, oh, I know Spoonie. And she was like, whoa, what? She's like, yeah, I'm friends with them. And Mo is just losing her mind. Turns out that friend, or that the brother of Mo's friend is my friend Lena. And Lena has done like voice work for me. So I'm like, that's wild. So there's this just whole web. But I remember when this epiphany was had, Mo said something in like Case's chat like, yeah, Spoonie, I used to watch your videos and I found Case completely separately and then saw that you knew them, and I was like, what? And like one of my brother's, not my brother, my friend's sister was friends with you, and I was like, who? And then she said Lena, and I was just losing my mind. I'm like, I still talk to Lena. The world, everything's connected. Everything's connected. I'm just everywhere. It hasn't just been with Case. I get messages from people all the time when I interact with anybody on Twitter, or a lot of people on Twitter. I'll get a message from somebody and be like, wait, you know so-and-so? And I'm like, listen. At this point, you need to assume I just know everyone. I just know everyone. I'm everywhere. I'm eternal. See, we were talking about this in my Discord the other day. Cats just show up. They just show up in places they're not supposed to be and act like they're supposed to be there. That's me. That's me. I'm everywhere. I just show up in somebody's replies and then we're friends. That's just my life. Oh, okay. I think I've made the tweet before. Listen. I just know everyone. If you see me interacting with someone and you're surprised, don't be. I just know everyone. That's just... I know everyone. Everyone knows me. I'm very appreciative that, the being known that I am now. Back when I was 18, still, like, popular for my weeby Kingdom Hearts stuff, I would go to a convention and people would, lose their shit and, glomp me. Anyway, I got mobbed a few times. God, I was 17, actually, I think. 17 or 18. I was almost 18. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was 17. I went to a con and just had a bunch of people, like, ask me to sign stuff, and it was weird and confusing and strange, and people didn't know how to keep their shit together. And now I go to MFF, and, I have a few people that I look at their badge and I go, oh, I've drawn you before. And they're like, whoa, sweet, are you Spoonie? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, cool. Hi, Denotive. Do I ever really know somebody? That's a good question. A lot of the times I'm just like parallel with people. Like I'll have like mutuals. And we'll be kind of in the same friend circle. There's some Venn diagram. Remember glomping? I wish I didn't. I really wish I didn't remember glomping. Remember when people thought it was socially acceptable to just run up behind somebody and like pummel them with their own body? Remember that? Okay. I was literally told the first time I went to a con when I was 16, I was literally told that people don't care if you just run up and hug them or smack them on the butt, on the ass. People don't care. I was told that. Like, that, it was accepted. That, like, everybody accepted that they would get, like, touched in some way, whether it be hugs or inappropriate touches. It was just expected. It was just expected back then. I don't miss those days. Oh, glomping. I was the one who was doing glomping when I went to a convention when I was 16. I thought you... Okay, Evie, for a second, I thought that said jealous. And I was like, why would you be jealous? Why would you be jealous? 2008 was definitely a time. Yeah, that was absolutely the attitude. Con staff did not care. The only thing they cared about is when people started, like, smacking each other with yaoi paddles. Remember yaoi paddles? Oh gosh, speaking of, I don't know if I should talk about this, but it's funny to me, so I'm gonna talk about it anyway. So, freaking... Now, don't go on the video and bully this person, because that would be mean. I don't even know. I think I took down all the comments anyway. So there was this person that just lost their mind at my Kingdom Hearts video. Which if you haven't heard about my how Kingdom Hearts turned everyone gay video, this is the gist of it. My Kingdom Hearts video that I have is specifically about the prompt was back in the day, my first job. My coworker Max asked a new coworker of ours if she was a lesbian because she cosplayed Kingdom Hearts. And I was like, Max, why would you say that? And he said, well, every girl that I've ever known that got into Kingdom Hearts came out the other end, at least a little gay. And I was like, you know, you're right. Why is that? And so basically the whole video, I talk about why so many people think that Kingdom Hearts was what made them gay, or what made them realize they were gay. And basically the whole thing is me saying how Kingdom Hearts didn't turn you gay, you were just gay in the first place, and this is why you realized you were gay, and it was a toxic, bad environment, and you shouldn't be remembering it so fondly. And you should hope for better things in the future for future generations of queer kids. Anyway, that's the gist of that video. So, and I get into talking about early convention culture in like the 2000s. So somebody just lost their mind at me, commented like 20 times saying how terrible this video was and how irrelevant it was. And one of the comments absolutely slayed me. It was like, what's a yaoi paddle? Sounds fake, basically. They're like, I've never heard of a yaoi paddle, and I follow cosplayers. And I was like, bro, do you think I just made this up? Bro, it was real. I was there. I cosplayed as Sora in 2008 at a convention. My ass still hurts. It was not a good time. I'll tell you that. I'm so glad I didn't start going to cons until I was 24. I'm so glad I only go to furry cons now. I was already 18 by the time I went to my first con in 2004, but I remember being terrified by everyone around me. You know, that's fair. The last time I went to an anime con, it was to sell stuff at a booth, and it was pretty chill, but oh god, there were still some people. There's a whole new hell running a booth at an anime convention, and that's people who come up and just take pictures of your art and say thank you and then leave. Then there are people who just crowd your booth and don't leave and won't stop talking to you about collaborating. Just won't stop talking to you about collabing. And it's heinous. I had too many people just who just needed a friend, because they would just come up and just continue to talk to me about nothing, and I'm like, please, I'm trying to sell my artwork. Please, I'm begging you, please go away. But no, they don't leave. I'm sure this happens at furry cons too, but oh boy. Oh, you want to know about Yaoi Paddle's soul? I'll tell you. Just kidding. I mean, I can give you the gist of it eventually. Just the other week, my friend found an ancient yaoi paddle. Oh no, burn it, please. Furrycons were like a last holdout, like after that there was no going back. There's at least plausible deniability about whether or not you're actually a furry until you go to a con. Table hoverers. They are the worst! They are the worst! You know, like, sometimes I just feel really bad because most of the table hoverers, all they want to do is they just want to talk. They just want to talk, and they just don't realize that they are surpassing the social boundaries. Like, I don't know you, please stop talking to me, please go away, like, I don't want to be mean, but next time I have a booth at a con, and somebody does the table hover thing, I might be like, hey, I'm trying to sell stuff and there are other people I want to come up to my table. Can you please go away? It's Enoch time. But yeah, convention. Okay, yaoi paddles. So, a lot of people that actually don't know the origins of yaoi paddles. So there was a yaoi con, like in early 2000s, back when yaoi was first starting to become popular in America. Gosh, I don't exactly remember what the deal was, but I think like some person at YaoiCon that was running a booth was made a joke, and then somebody else made a yaoi paddle that said yaoi on it, and on one side said uke. And then there was a seme one, of course, as well. So they just became popular at every convention. And, you know, they got banned. You'd think, oh, because people were smacking each other and and that was bad. The reason that they got banned is somebody actually got hit so hard that they broke their hip. I think was the don't reference me on that. I don't know like the whole truth. Somebody actually like broke something, and I feel like got partially paralyzed because of a yaoi paddle. So back in the day, 2005 to like 2010, convention centers were not fun because of yaoi paddles. You could argue, like, back when I was a kid, I thought it was fun, but I didn't really think about it. Like, if I was an adult and I went to a convention around that time, good lord, I would hate my life. Yeah, they're just lonely and don't have the best social skills. I usually let them hang out a bit because it makes my table look busier than it is. That is a good point. That is a good reason to like, appreciate the table hoverers. Because then people get interested. I feel like a few times I had a table hover that drew more attention in, so I would just, like, I would notice that people were trying to come and look at stuff, but they were in the way, and I would, like, kind of make a hand motion to them, like, come on, move to the side, move to the side, so other people can look. And if they didn't get my hand motion, I would just say it out loud. I'd be like, hey, other people are trying to look at stuff, can you move? Oh. Wait a second. Man, one of the people I used to hang around with used to turn table hoverers into advertisers. Would give them flyers to pass out. Oh! That's a good idea. Gotta make eye contact with everyone that comes near the table so that they know it's okay to approach. Yeah. I really miss having a table. I was gonna have a table at MFF this year, but that didn't work out. So hopefully the hell virus will be gone by next year, and I can have a table at MFF next year. So that would be really fun. I would love that. Oh, I could sell, like, not MFF. I could sell MF merch at MFF. Mixed Feelings merch. Oh, that would be so fun. Oh, heck. You're, like, tall, though, so maybe that's a privileged... It's a bit of a privileged sentiment. I'm very small. I mean, I worked in service from like age 18 to recently. So I've worked in the service industry for like 10 years. I really know how to like sell stuff. Granted, I wasn't like a businessman. Well, I mean, technically I was. Because like we were encouraged when I worked retail to like upsell. I'm sure anybody who's worked retail is familiar with that sentiment, but, or that, not sentiment, but you know what I mean. So, I was pretty good at selling my comic book at a convention. MF at MFF, that's the tagline. I clapped below the table, you just couldn't see it, I'm sorry. I've never been to a con, but I want to go. They're fun, especially furry cons. Anime cons are a whole different animal. They're full of a different kind of animal. Cause like the whole goal of like a furry con is like to get off the con floor and go to a room party and have fun with your friends playing Mario Kart. Anime cons, I felt like it was just a whole lot of sitting around and being tired and hurting because of your cosplay. And then that just didn't feel good in my heart. But like, when you're 16 and you're like, ew, furries. That's really like all you know. So you're like, okay, this is it. This is it. This is the best thing ever. Before I had a booth, the last anime con I went to, I remember very specifically, I was literally just, most of the time, just sitting around and drinking coffee. And that's all I was doing. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't looking at art. I was just tired all the time because I was in cosplay and I didn't want to be. And I was like, this sucks. Why do people do this? I'm too old. I think by then I was like 25. or 24. I don't remember. It was my birthday weekend. Which arguably isn't that old, but I think it is, for me at least, it was too old to be in cosplay all day at a convention. It hurts. It hurts, man. It's not fun. I don't like being the center of attention. And when you cosplay a really popular character and you're the center of attention, it's like, why am I doing this? This is stupid. I shouldn't be doing this. And so I've learned my lesson. Crossing my fingers, the Backstreet Boys World Tour finally comes to an end. Right? Right? Probably forever stuck in Backstreet Boys hell. Furry cons are more like long-distance friendship meetup celebrations, as far as I could tell. Yeah, yeah. So many of my friends I've seen like talk about like how they went to MFF, and I'm like, I missed you. I mean, I don't think I really knew you very well back then, but I missed you. You need to go back to MFF so I can see you. I just want to hang out with all my friends. I'm so mad it didn't happen this year. I mean, I'm happy that they canceled it because safety. But I'm so mad because, like, I've made so many more friends that go to MFF. So I'm like, shoot! I just want to go to MFF and meet all my friends. It's so fun. It's so fun. Furry cons, man. Highly recommend. It's really funny. My friend, from Canada, he actually like ran a convention for years, an anime convention, and he got to meet like a bunch of anime voice actors, and got to like really know them very well, and it was really cool experience. And so he also like cosplayed for like charity and stuff. It was really cool. So he knew the whole thing. He knew like he was used to the anime scene and saw some crazy stuff. And he went to MFF with us like 2 years ago. And going down the hallway in MFF, where you see all of the like fursuiters just walking through, his face, he was literally like, and it was just really funny. And I'm like, he said it's like experiencing the first time going to a convention all over again. I like dressing up, but I don't have the same friends I used to back when I went to cons, so I don't know if I'd ever go to one again, but I think about it sometimes. Truly, I do like dressing up. It's just, the cosplay community is so strange, and that, like, there's this peer pressure. It's not even peer pressure, it's just this, like, pressure a lot of cosplayers have to make 3 new costumes every time they go to a convention. Sometimes 4 if it's a 4-day convention. And it's absolutely insane. I'm like, why do you feel this pressure to make an entirely new outfit every time you go to a convention? That's insane. Just reuse an old one. No, they gotta be current. It's just, it's a popularity contest. The cosplay community is super toxic. I'm gonna talk about toxic. There's so much bullying that goes on. So much drama that goes on. It's insane. Don't recommend. Highly don't recommend. I've heard so many like stories about like people's experience in the cosplay community, and every time I hear a story, I'm like, yep, that happened to me too. Yep, that happened to me too. Sucks. Sucks. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it does. I may have to see about making a trip kind of far, though. MFF sounds fun, I assume is what you're saying. I don't know where you are, Kat, but I think it's worth it. Costume artistry can be really amazing, but I can't deal with the pressure to always outshine the last thing. It's so strange that that's such a mentality that people have, as if they're, like... There aren't many cosplayers that are just, like, known. So if you went to a convention in a repeat costume, that's not a big deal and nobody's going to notice. So I don't know why that's such a pressure that so many cosplayers, like, put on themselves. It's just stupid. Man, I had a thought and I don't know where it went. I hope this is entertaining to you all. That, I consistently will be like, oh, and then I don't actually follow through with that thought because I forget in my brain. I'm following my train of thought. It's gone because the song just zoinked me out. It just zoinked me out. Southeast Texas. That is away. That is away. Away. That's right, I remember you mentioning Texas. You ever just get zoinked out? Okay, cool. I'm glad it's enjoyable hanging out with me, even when the only visual you have is of me talking and making stupid expressions. Oh man, I miss room parties so much. I love room parties mostly because I just like hanging around a lot of people. I don't really talk much. But I just like listening and like absorbing the energy of people around me, if that makes sense. I love that shit. I was about to talk about what I was drawing. I was about to say something like, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm like, this nipple looks weird. You all know what I'm drawing. I'm drawing the nasty stuff. That's why you can't see it. But gosh. Went to a lot of room parties during MFF that were just so full of people. Just so many people just in one room, and the energy was just incredible. And I was just sitting on the bed with my friend Mochi, who, that's where we became friends, is MFF last year. Getting drunk and telling her my life story about why I've moved to 4 different states. Nipples aren't nasty. Nah, nipples are good. Quote me on that. Nipples are good. Said by Spoonie in 2020. You know, it's dumb. It always bothers me in furry art, especially not safe for work furry art. Well, specifically not safe for work furry art. Or a character is naked and they don't have nipples. I'm like, where are they? Why don't they have nipples? Just give them nipples, you coward. I hope people in the other apartments heard me say that because that was the funniest thing I've ever said. I wish I could draw nipples right. No! Okay. Okay, that looks good. It's done. Free the nipple. Let it be free. Trying to make these streams family friendly. I'm bad at it. Oh! I mentioned I got my birth shot done. Birth control shot today. Dude, I won't get into details because I know people get squeamish about needles. That shot sucks. My arm hurts so bad. It hurt so much this time. My muscle like spasmed. I was like, boh, boh, boh. Okay. You know, like Hank Hill from I couldn't remember what it was called. I was about to call it Hank on the Hill. What even is family friendly? Nipples are family friendly. I can talk about nipples. Nipples are fine. I don't if a kid like listens to me talking about nipples, that's fine. I mean, I guess it depends on the context, but I just remembered a funny story. So I'm gonna talk about it. So when my sister was like, I want to say 6 or 7, she was pretty young. I told this joke. It's kind of gross, but it's funny. This joke I was telling for a bit. What did the cannibal do after he dumped his girlfriend? Wiped his butt. Told this to my little sister. She lost her mind laughing. And then stops for a second and goes, "What's a cannibal?" So, my guess is if a kid ever walks in on my stream, hears me talking about nipples, they won't know the context. They will just lose their mind laughing about me talking about nipples and not know. Oh, I can't play this. Why is that in there? Final Fantasy VII music is content copyrighted so hard. Should I tell more jokes? I used to tell a lot of jokes when I would teach people how to paint. That was one of them I would tell. People love that one. I also told another one about cannibals. My friend who I worked with, Connor, he was usually my assistant and we were like the dynamic duo. And so after I would tell that joke, he would tell another cannibal joke, which was, what did the cannibal get when they were late to the dinner party? Cold shoulders. I think people like that one more because it's not as lewd. It's not as rude. So as a kid, I hate to bring Homestuck up. I was basically John Egbert. I had a bunch of like joke books that I would just read before bed. And it was like 101 and a half jokes. Some stupid title like that. Cannibal jokes are such a genre. I guess it's a genre. Who knew? Right? I mean, I get you can tell like a lot of funny cannibal jokes. I don't know what the deal is. So there it went, my train of thought. John Egbert. I was John Egbert as a kid. I was really into magic tricks and I was really into what's it called? Oh, I keep messing up my drawing. I was really into jokes. Every kid had a favorite joke. What was everybody's favorite joke? You gotta tell me now, and then I'll tell you mine. Also, hello, Mars. I hate to bring Homestuck up. Me at myself. Silence Homestuck. I'm going to share my screen for just a minute. Actually, no. I can do one better. I don't need to share my screen. I don't need to share my screen. I can just put up an image. If I figure it out, add source. Add new source. This can be a thing. This can be like the forbidden word if anybody brings up Homestuck at all. I can just bring this image up. That's it. That's what you get. Hang on, let me put it down lower. That's what you get. That's for me. Anyway. Anyway, I hope you liked that. Okay, I'm gonna read these jokes. What did the puppy say when it sat on sandpaper? Ruff! That's cute. I've never heard that one. I like that one. Anybody else? Anybody else have? Begone, ham steaks. I made that in response to Morale in my chat. I posted in the patron only thing a new character design, and he goes, Aridin, and then I made that image just to respond to him and be like, silence Homestuck. And I told him, I was like, this is from the deepest part of my heart. I want you to know that I mean this in the friendliest way possible, but silence Homestuck. And he was like, oh my god, I want to use this myself. I feel this in my heart. It's so funny to me that I feel like the people who hate Homestuck the most are Homestucks. I'm not wrong. I'm right. I'm absolutely right. Homestucks just continue to read Homestuck even though they're disappointed. Every step of the way, they're just disappointed. Homestucks at Homestucks. Uh-oh. I'm doing it again. Silence Homestuck. I need like a sound that goes with this. I need to make a sound today of me going, silence Homestuck, and then like put a super reverb and like effects on it. Anyway. Silence Homestuck. My favorite thing to do is pretend like I don't know anything about Homestuck, which is the funniest joke ever in the world. Nobody ever really asks me questions or like talks about Homestuck at me too much. But I still like doing it. Like there was that one time I was making tweets when certain drama was going on with Homestuck. And I posted, Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Not the tweet specifically. Oh, what is it? Shop. It's like the Shopkins car. Oh, what is it? This. I think. No, it was a cat. I'll find it eventually. I feel like I took a picture at work, and that's why it was so specific. It was like, it was a car, it was a Shopkins car that looked like a cat, but it was also like a cake cat. And, cat car, I'm looking it up. I will find it. Alright, this'll work. Wait. Full screen. Oh! There we go. So I posted this picture, or a picture of a cat, sweet car, and I was like, is this that car cat-licious everyone keeps talking about? And so that was my funny joke. Hope you enjoyed my funny Homestuck joke. Oh, Cat, you don't know what Homestuck is. Please keep it that way. Really only stick around for Hive Swap and Dave Cat content. That's valid. Thought it would be funny if I said bless you every time someone burped or farted or made any noise other than a sneeze and actually made it into a reflex. Beep beep meow. That's funny. So my favorite joke, one of my favorite jokes to tell as a kid, was what do you call a seagull that flies over the bay? You ready? You ready for this? A bagel. Laugh! Anyway. I know there's a bit of a lag, so it might take a bit. Gotta be careful what you start doing ironically, because once it becomes a habit, it's over. That reminds me, so my brother and mom live in North Carolina. In North Carolina, the area they are in especially has a really thick, country accent. And so my brother started ironically doing a country accent until he actually had a country accent. Now he has a thick country accent. I call him and he's like, hello? And I'm like, you sound like a trucker. What are you doing? Why do you sound like a trucker? No, we already heard this. Get out of here. Oh, it's been going 2 hours. I'm just chatting and drawing. This is a good time. I feel bad for going into silence every once in a while, though, because there's nothing for you all to see except my face. So, my friend started saying, let Epic win for me, ironically, and now I gotta hear it all the time. Oh, that's awful. I mean, there was a point. I still say it sometimes, because it's just funny. there was a point where I would say that's gay. Talking about like sappy things. I did that for years. And it was funny because my roommate who wasn't gay and isn't gay would get mad at me and say, "You can't call things gay," as an insult. And I'm like, it's not an insult. I'm gay. Leave me alone. If I like something, I say it's gay. Be like eating ice cream and I'll be like, man, this ice cream's gay. That's how bad it was. I would just call everything gay. And then straight people would get on my case and be like, you can't do that. You can't call things gay. And I'm like, listen, I'm not using it the same way. Hello, Zoe. It's been a long time. Where have you been? You have disappeared into the nether. It is nice to see you, though. I am happy to see you. Cat, I did that with the word tight a couple of years ago. It took forever to get rid of it. Yeah, I say sick. I say sick now. I remember when I was still in high school, people started saying that. Wasn't gay and isn't gay. Been hiding in your room. That's good. Good. You're saving lives. Gay people get a gay pass. That's what it is. Gay people are allowed to say gay. Not necessarily in a derogatory way. I'm the kind of person where my partner kisses me and I go, that's gay. And they just go, yeah. And that's how that works. Dope is one of those things that stuck for a while too. I say dope sometimes, I feel like. Get the gay pass. Let the gays say gay. I've heard some gay guys say like the FAG word. I don't like saying that word, personally. But I've heard a few gay guys use that, and I'm like, hey, you know, use that for yourself, but don't use it for me. Also dyke. I'll just say dyke. I hate that word. I've been called that by a few gay guys, and I'm like, dude, why? Dude, why? Don't like it. Don't call me that. Mean. Bad. Disallowed. Part of it is that because of quarantine, but honestly, I've been like struggling on new meds now. Those will feel better. I'm glad you're feeling better. That's good. New meds can help. Yeah, I've heard... I was making a point and I forgot about it. I've heard a few gay guys say that they're allowed to say that certain F word because, it's like the N word for gay people. I'm like, okay, yeah. You can go for it. I'm not gonna say it. Use it to refer to yourself I feel like they're different. I feel like the F and the N word are different. I'm not gonna use it. I hate it. For a while, I wasn't okay with queer. Specifically because I had like a bad experience with homophobes. Specifically with that word. So hearing it just made me go, whoa, whoa. Nasty. Dislike. Okay. I was like, why isn't my thing coloring? It was on the eraser. That's why. That's why, Spoonie. That's why you're erasing, you're not drawing. Anyway. Also, to those of you who just showed up, like Zoe, I am drawing. You just can't see it. Because it's inappropriate. But I still wanted to hang out with you all as I drew. So I'm trying to still be entertaining. You can still see my head moving as I look and draw. It's fine. Nephew uses it a lot. Always self-referential. It still makes me cringe. People can do what they want. It's fine. As a self-reference, but don't call me that. Oh my. I mean, it's not safe for work, but it's technically not pornographic. It's just nude. I'm glad you've been enjoying it. I wasn't so sure how this was gonna go. Because I was like, usually in my streams there's a whole lot of, like, silence. And I don't want there to be silence. If you all are here, watching me. Wait. Okay. Yeah, I think a lot of people come to my streams because they like how chill they are. So I was like, you know what, why don't we actually just chill? Why don't we just chill as I'm working on stuff that you can't see? That might be fun. Oh, come on. You can just listen to the off soundtrack and be merry. Come on, man! Duplicate! Duplicate that layer. Thank goodness. There we go. Who is... Aw, man. Sorry. Case is messaging me stuff about concrete. That's the thing I can talk about, I guess. They're putting concrete down in the back alleyway of our apartment building. So now we don't have to de-weed anything back there anymore. That's exciting. So we used to do that. We used to weed whack because there would be so many weeds. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to say like a landlord because I don't feel like a landlord. I feel like I'm twice removed from the landlord because sometimes my neighbors who live here will just come to my door asking me where the landlord is, and I'm just like, he might be downstairs, I don't know, because I know him. So I guess they don't want to talk to him directly when it's easier to just do that and then just come here. Be like, I locked my keys out, can you let me in? And I'm like, no, I cannot. Go ask the landlord. Hello, Bill Cipher, welcome. I'm doing good, I'm just chilling. I'm a little hungry. I'm not too hungry though. Doing intermittent fasting maybe. I might take a break here in a bit just so I can use the bathroom. Vibin'. I don't know how quiet the music is compared to me. But, cool. I'm glad it's fun as hell. That makes me happy. I'm happy you guys enjoy chilling with me. It's a nice thing to have in the middle of a quarantine. To just have company. It's like you're chilling in the office with me. It's like you're chilling with... It's like you're chilling with my alien. The alien wizard. He's there. He needs a name. He's not mine. I wonder... if... I doubt Case gave him a name. I need to know if he has a name. We should name him. Chat, what should we name the alien? He used to have bionicles in him. Or a bionicle in him. I forget which one. It was a green one. Bionicles. We should talk about bionicles. That's a good thing to talk about. Did you guys play with bionicles growing up? Because you should have. Purple. I'm gonna shade this purple. Yeah, it's comforting to just kind of chill, listen to some like vibin' music. Honestly, like a lot of the times when I turn on streams from streamers I really like, I will just have that in the background so I can just hear people. It's nice. It makes you feel like a lot less alone. I don't really get lonely, but having like hearing people like having conversations in the background is a very comforting sound. That's why I like parties. That's why I like listening to people talk. Bionicles are rad. Favorite toy back in the day? My brother was really into Bionicle. We had the movie Mask of Light. I don't remember anything about it, honestly, except there was like some weird crab boy. Like as in like a crab pet. And I remember he died, and I remember my dad going, "Oh no, the Chapu." That's from Final Fantasy X. That's not the crab's name, but I had to make up a name. Did you know the reason Bionicle isn't around anymore is literally because the lore got too complicated and they didn't know how to keep up? That's the funniest thing to me, honestly. Dude, that movie was actually really good. Like I said, I don't remember anything about it. I just remember liking it, even though I wasn't particularly into Bionicle as a kid. I had a few. I want to say I had the white and blue one. The one that curled up into a ball and had the weird chicken head. The light was in him all along. That's how it'd be. They think they're following the trail of light from the mask, but it's lighting up because the destined person is holding it, so they're just wandering around. Oh, that's funny. That's actually really clever of a storyline. That's hilarious. I love that. There were so many like commercial movies, like straight to video, that were actually really good back in the day. Like the Bionicle movies were one of them. A lot of the Lego movies, I guess, were really good, including the Lego movie. Though it starred Chris Pratt, didn't it? Okay, forget about that. We're not gonna... No. Bo Rock! That was it. The one that curled up. Had the weird chicken head. Couldn't it shoot stuff, or was that something else? I think that was something else. I know we have a Bo Rock. I think it's... Where's the bow rock? Hang on. I need to know where the bow rock is. I feel like it was red. I think we have the red bow rock. I think we have the red bow rock, and I want to say we have a green Rakshi. I don't think it's the Rakshi. I think it's the regular one. I don't know. The fact that I remember Rakshi is weird. I had a green Rakshi as a kid, so maybe I'm just thinking of that. I remember simultaneously with Bionicle. My brother was really into Bionicle. I think at the time I was playing Jak and Daxter, the first one, and then I was getting into that. Jak and Daxter is sick. I just recently like restarted a game in Jak 3 because I found my PS2. The writing in Jak 3 is so good. In Jak 2 and 3. I never beat 2, but I know what happens. But what the heck? It's because Amy Hennig did the writing. Bowrock were weird insectoid things, such a strange idea. I loved them. They curled up and they came out, and then you had the trigger on the back of their neck, and they would do that chicken thing. They would stick their neck out. I loved them. They were great. Did you see the amazing looking Bionicle fan game? I have not. I should look that up. Bionicles. Love me some robots. Love them. Love them robots. Big fan. Big fan of robots. Big fan of AI. Love it. You know what isn't a good thing with AI and robots? Detroit Become Human. No hate if you like it, because it does have a whole lot of good stuff in it. But man, a lot of it just feels really tone deaf. Not feels, a lot of it is just really tone deaf. I really wanted to like Detroit Become Human because it's really gorgeous. And I really liked, is his name Connor? Connor and Hank. They were really good characters. But I feel like most of that is because their actors were really good. It's like Quest for Mata, or it's Quest for Mata Nui. You mean Metro Nui. Mata Nui is from Moana. Sorry, that was pretentious. Oh my god, there were Sprite comics of Bionicle. I read Sprite comics of Pokemon, and I made some when I was like 12. Those were fun. They weren't funny. I wish they were. I had a very, like, I still have a very, like, strange, specific sense of humor. It was even stranger when I was 12. When I was very young in middle school, I made a whole lot. I made Sprite comics, and then I also made just comics in school. One of the first things I did, or I started doing, was so I returned a book late to the library, like a day late. So I owed them 10 cents, and they kept sending me this slip during my first period class. That was like, please pay 10 cents. And this was all through middle school that this happened. I think it was actually a little more. It might have been like 12 cents, but it was something just so minuscule. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pay 12 cents. I never did pay that fee. I still owe my middle school library 12 cents. So, on the back of these, like, slips, I would draw a little comic about this fee that I owed the library, and it always involved Cloud because this is when I was obsessed with Cloud, mind you. I still am. I'm not gonna deny that. It always involved Cloud going up to another character and being like, hey, pay this fee. The only one I can remember is Cloud going up to Vincent, and it's just a coffin. And him being like, hey, pay this fee, and then Vincent interrupting him and being like, my life is a nightmare. Hey, but you owe me 12 cents. No, I'm sleeping. It was just stupid stuff like that. I was a comedian. Gotta admit, like, thinking about that now, I'm like, okay, that was actually pretty funny. For a moment, for just a minute, I want to take a quick break, and then we can do like the last hour of this stream. And yes, I just need to use the bathroom. So if you also need to use the bathroom, get a snack, have some peanuts, or as they say in the Midwest, peanuts. You can have some. Anyway, I will be right back. See you around, Zoe. I just had some pieces of salami as a treat. That's how I live my life. I'm back! Okay. We're back. We're back to talking. 50 more minutes. And then I can be free from talking. Just kidding. I'm enjoying this. I feel like I'm hosting a podcast where there's nobody else talking but me. It's just me. Here I am talking. This is what you came for. And then everybody regrets everything. Just kidding. I love salami. I also love that meme. Cats can have little salami as a treat. It's my favorite. It's old now. It's a year old, so it's not that old. But it's still old. It's old enough. Oh. Oh heck. Oh heck. I'm doing this wrong. I've been really getting into drawing more scenes, like full illustrations. It's really fun. I really like capturing a mood, not just with like characters, but specifically with like an environment or a scene. I like to think of backgrounds more as environments than like a backdrop to your characters. I think there's like this thing in the artist community where people think that they're less of an artist because they don't draw backgrounds a lot. And that's just not true. That's just plain wrong. If you want to draw a character, just draw the character. If you want to draw a scene or an environment, draw an environment. That's when you draw a background. The background should be just as important as the characters in the piece. They should be one. It shouldn't be like just shoehorned in, like, oh, here's a cityscape. Welcome to teaching in 2020. It's great. God. God, I can't imagine. I mean, I've told you, Kat, that I taught painting classes. I'm sure that all of those paint and sip places are going out of business right now. I'm kind of glad I didn't get a job at any of them around here. Backgrounds are really tough. But I feel like a lot of things clicked with me when I started looking at backgrounds more as this is an environment. This is a piece of your piece. This isn't just like supposed to be shoehorned in. It's supposed to be important. And you need to look at it as a part of the factor. Or as a factor in the whole thing. Oh, I'm so sad. I like those paint and sip places. Especially Painting with a Twist, because that was the company that treated me right. They were so good. Oh, I miss that so much. Excuse me. It's nice, like, flamenco guitar going on. Man, I need something else to talk about. At a loss. You know, when I was kind of like floundering around for like what to do for the stream today, One of the things I thought of was doing like a request stream where you donate and then suggest a Pokemon for me to draw from memory. I'm thinking I want to do that next Friday. Yeah, that's going to be the last Friday of the month. So I feel like that would be a really fun donation stream. I'll have to think about what charity to donate to. But this is just a test because I ran out of commissions that I can show YouTube. No. Don't want this clown music. Get out. No. Okay. That's better. Environment has a better connotation, more cohesive. I think what clicked with me was when I learned that information and got that piece of advice from an artist. Think of your backgrounds more like environments. The environment needs to like be as important as the subjects in your environment. I like that day I had a hankering to watch Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, which is my favorite Ghibli movie. And just paying attention to how much detail was put. It's not even that it's like there's a lot of detail in the backgrounds and the environments. It's that the environments add to the world building. And you learn more about the characters from things put into the environment. You learn things about the world and the environment. So with every like prop and piece of anything in a piece, you want to tell like some sort of story. The background that I did recently, not that recently, but the most recent background I've done that comes to mind when I think of this is Kahira's room in Mixed Feelings. Because every single thing in her room tells a little bit more about her. So you see all the anime posters, you see like the lesbian flag on the wall, you see the poster that has Japanese on it, you see all the action figures, you see the rugs, you see like her clothes just strewn out on the floor and some garbage like and sketches everywhere. And what does that tell you about Kahira? She's a weeb. Tells you she's a weeb, she's a lesbian, tells you she's a slob, tells you she draws. And then think about like Perry's background. Perry has plants just everywhere and has very earth tone colors in their place. And it's a stone cottage and it just looks very cozy. It has a fireplace with a reading chair next. Only assume that Perry reads next to the fireplace. It has a piano because Perry is musical. I think there was also a violin somewhere. I don't remember if I actually drew it. I think I was thinking about it and then didn't. Really appreciated that about the Mixed Feelings too. About Mixed Feelings too. I was very proud of the backgrounds, honestly, and I'm glad a lot of people liked them. Perry's was very fun. I think Kahira's room was my favorite, just because it worked so well. And it was really fun to stream that room. Because everybody was like helping me like put things in. The Keyblade on the wall, that was like a literal Keyblade, was my favorite. I just liked that background because it had a lot of heart put into it because of how everybody helped. Like, this might be a little sappy, but I really loved how Mixed Feelings came together. Like, it was me, like, who did all of, like, pretty much everything except the music. But I feel like all together it was like a team effort. Because a lot of the stuff that I did in Mixed Feelings was based on people's reaction, people's feedback, like patrons specifically. I got a lot of ideas from like people's reactions, and I'm getting a lot of ideas from people's reactions to the full game right now, on what to do for part 2. So it's really exciting, and I really like projects where the audience kind of makes it their own thing. And I feel like that's what happened with Mixed Feelings. It kind of became you guys' thing. And I think that's beautiful. It became a collaborative effort. I feel like I watched this video essay a long time ago about Pirates of the Caribbean. The first one, because all the other ones are garbage. But the first Pirates of the Caribbean was so great because it was such a collaborative effort. Everybody in the cast had and like what they should do. And that's what makes projects so good. Is, like, granted there are plenty of like great projects that are done by one person alone. But even like indie projects where it's all one person, there's still like outside influence on that stuff. Like, you're still, if you're making an indie game, you're still gonna have like beta testers who have their say in the matter. What makes things like so good is all the different, like, the diversity in it, in like everybody's opinions, if that makes sense. I said that really weird, but I think you guys get what I'm saying. Hi, QB. Welcome. We're just talking about collaborative art projects, and how even when things are essentially an indie project, it's still in a sense, and that's what makes things beautiful. If you ask me. Like, okay, Soul, I don't know if you're still in the chat. Mixed Feelings would be nothing without you. I'm gonna be real right now. Mixed Feelings would be a pile of hot garbage without you. Jeez. Soul was one of the beta testers and had a lot of very good feedback for me. So thank you so much, Soul. I'm hoping today I can clean out my SD card, test your game. Taking a break. Evie's back. I didn't even know you left. I was wondering where you were. Welcome back, Evie. And hello to Zara. Welcome. And welcome back, Zoe. I'm glad you could come back. Time for me to just get emotional. I'm not getting emotional, I'm just having some deep thoughts about how much I appreciate you all. I'm glad we could all be here together for the end of the world. Y'all are so important. Oh man, what should I eat after stream? Should we start talking about food? Is it food time to talk? Wondering if I can make soup. Ooh. Time to make soup. Oh wait, I didn't even talk about this. So, the stream ideas I was talking about, or I was thinking about for today was an impromptu cooking stream. But then I ultimately decided that would be a bad idea. I don't have any sort of, you know, tripod for my phone. Thank you. I love you too, Zoe. What the heck? Glad y'all love me. The feeling is mutual. Heck. 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 Okay. Done. Oh, that was cinematic. I'm glad we could all be here for the end of the world. Me saying that too. Sick of it. It's beautiful. Sick of the end of the world. Wish it would stop. Wish it would just end. Just kidding. Wish. I just want to grill, man. Oh, you know what I can do after stream? I can set up my fire pit. See if I can use it. I wonder if that'll be possible. Ooh, a ham and shredded cheese sandwich. You should have grilled it. You should have grilled it. If you grilled it, good job. Proud. There have been times I just really want a sandwich and I don't have any like sliced cheese, so I have to do the shredded cheese. Then you grill it. Makes it better. Melts it all. I'm really mad at myself because I used up all of my cheese already because I was making a bunch of quesadillas because I had like a bunch of tortillas left after I had made fajitas, and so I had like, I would put like 4 slices of cheese on these quesadillas, but man, it was worth it. So I am already out of cheese. What do I want to grill? I don't know. I haven't grilled before. I would like to grill some burgers. I would like to try. We have a grill. Did I ever tell you guys about that? We found a grill, like it's still in the box, in the dumpster, like a while back. We haven't been able to use it yet. Because, well, first of all, we don't even know if it's put together right. It didn't even have the instructions. Second of all, neither of us know how to grill. So, we've just kind of not been doing that. But we do have a grill. And now I have a fire pit. Maybe after I make soup, if it's not too dark out, I can put together the fire pit and put it outside. Yeah, it was just in the dumpster, in a box still. Burgers sound good. I keep accidentally being vegetarian. I'll go to the store and I only buy vegetarian things, as in vegetables and no meat. Friggin', maybe I can make a tofu stir fry. Tofu stir fry. Good. See, the thing is, I just really like vegetables. I love meat too, but just not as much as vegetables. I love potatoes. I honestly, like, no hate if you don't like vegetables, but also, I don't understand you. There are plenty of nasty vegetables. Like, I hate celery. Screw celery. But people who are like, any vegetable, I'm like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? They're so delicious. Of course, it all depends on how they're prepared. You gotta prepare it right. There's so many different ways you can eat vegetables, and there are ways that are gross. There are plenty of ways that are gross. Like okra, if you boil it, it's slimy and nasty. You fry that, oh, so good. It's a question of seasoning too, yeah. It's how you cook it, it's how you prepare it. I learned recently, not that recently, like a year ago, celery is one of those things that tastes bad to you if you have a certain gene. Celery tastes like chalk to me, and I guess it's because I have a gene in me that makes celery taste like chalk. There are a few things like this. Cilantro? If cilantro tastes like soap to you, you have a cilantro taste bad gene. Olives? It's another one. I thought I had that with olives, but then one day, suddenly olives tasted delicious to me. I feel like it might be a change in like hormones or something, because it started happening after I started taking my birth control shot, and then I just craved capers and olives. Celery tastes like chalk to me, man. It tastes disgusting. I can't describe it. It's bad. It tastes so bad. Everybody's like, celery doesn't have a taste. Celery doesn't have a taste. It just tastes like water. No, it tastes like chalk to me. Yeah, cilantro tastes good to me. I'm so glad for that. Oh, Zoe, I missed your finding it hard to eat meat lately. Every now and then, though, I get a crazy craving for meat. I understand that. I usually get a crazy craving for burgers on a day I work in the theater. Because we do a lot of heavy lifting and like shoveling and stuff. So if I wear myself out physically, I want meat so bad. Meat good. I wish cilantro tasted like crunchy water to me. It really doesn't. It tastes awful. I'm so sad. I wish I could like not cilantro. Celery. Tastes like rotten grass to you. You guys got the gene. What's another one? I feel like there's a few foods that have certain things in them that make it taste bad. I love cilantro. There's this thing called tannins. Oh, sad music time. Let's not have some sad music time. It's happy. Oh, we already heard that. Ships and bottles, sure. I want to grill. It is cold. I've never grilled. I want to do it. I want to try. We were just talking about in one of my friend group chats. I don't know if Cal's here. I think he might have fallen asleep. But we were talking about cookouts. And apparently cookouts are mostly an American thing. Because Cal was like... Because Cal's from the UK. Cal was like, I've never been to do a cookout. What do you even do? I'm just like, cookouts are so good. You just hang out. And you cook on a grill outside. And you just hang out and eat. It's so good. My family finds like every excuse to have a cookout. And I miss it. It was just crazy stuff. Like my aunt would be like, hey, new season of Game of Thrones came out. Come over, we're grilling hot dogs. and then we would go eat hot dogs, even though none of us watched Game of Thrones. Oh, except me. I feel like at the time, I'm just using that as an example. I'm just making stuff up, but it was just silly things like that. We would just go over and grill, have a cookout with friends and family, just for silly reasons. I love cooking. I love cooking for people. I'm so excited. People rag on Thanksgiving all the time, and like obviously, given the circumstances, I really hope nobody's going to go like out and see family for Thanksgiving. We're gonna do like a small thing together like we usually do with all the friends here. But man, I'm so excited. I love Thanksgiving. I don't love like what it stands for, like where the origins are, but I just love the idea of cooking with friends and making food together and eating and being thankful. There's nothing more beautiful than that. And I'm lucky I get to actually kind of celebrate. I hope everybody else has a kind of celebration. Even if it's as small as like cooking for yourself or cooking for your roommate. I hope you all get that opportunity this year. Did I decide my Thanksgiving meal this year? Also, welcome back, Soul. So, I think the plan is I'm gonna make cranberry sauce, like legit cranberry sauce, not the kind in a can. I've never had legit cranberry sauce. I don't think. I think my stepmom might have made it once. But hear me out. Cranberry sauce. I'm gonna make it. I got real cranberries. They're in the freezer. I'm gonna take them out and I'm gonna make some freaking cranberry sauce. Legit. Boil them until they pop. That's all you gotta do. It's so easy. I don't understand. Like, again, no hate if you prefer the canned cranberry sauce. I don't like it. I've never liked it. I'm very excited for the legit cranberry sauce. Oh, heck yeah. Usually go visit your grandmother. She died in January, which is kind of like good timing considering we wouldn't be able to go this year. This is a little morbid, but I get what you're saying. I'm sorry about your grandma passing, though. It's been a while, but... I love the shape of cranberry sauce. It makes me want to rub my face on it. I guess I understand that. Every time I think of cranberry sauce, specifically canned cranberry sauce, there was... No more off music. Get out of here. So, there was this episode of Blue's Clues. I don't remember how old I was when this happened. I must have been pretty young if I was watching Blue's Clues. That was a Thanksgiving episode. And they were showing like a spread, Thanksgiving food, like stuffing, turkey. And then they had cranberry sauce, and it was can shaped and like cut into discs. And my stepmom was so mad. She's like, that's not real cranberry sauce. Why do they do that? I hate it. Oh my god. That's what I think of. It's so funny. Be right back. Sad, but I'm kind of glad she didn't have to witness this year. That's an understandable. That's understandable. My friend, bless her heart, had a terrible year last year. Her mom died right before her birthday. Not my friend's birthday, her mom's birthday. She died before her birthday. And at the end of the year, her dad also died. And that just sucks. And then like COVID happened this year, and she kind of had the same like idea, like, man, glad my parents didn't have to deal with this, because her dad was a doctor, so that would have sucked for him. The flavored cranberry discs, love them. Except no, I don't. They're nasty. Don't want them. Yeah, it's pretty sad. It's very sad. It's not pretty sad. It sucks. It especially sucks that you go through that and then like go straight to, oh, by the way, here's COVID. Here's a pandemic. Hope you enjoy. It's stupid. It's so dumb. The world is awful, and it's crazy to think that there were people who were already going through like terrible tragedies, and then like this didn't just happen to my friend. This also happened to several other people. Like they were already going through terrible stuff, and then like suddenly COVID hits, and it's like, okay, all right, now everything sucks. Now everything sucks for everyone. And some people like to pretend not everything sucks for them, but you know what? That's stupid. The world's awful. And if COVID has taught us anything, it's that, there are a lot of people in the world that just don't experience empathy. There are a lot of people that don't understand, like, you gotta, like, care about other people even if you don't know them. Even if you don't necessarily believe the same things they do, you don't have to like them, but you have to not wish death upon them? Like, I don't know, like, what to tell you. It's been an eye-opening experience this year, for sure. In a lot of ways. Okay, what am I gonna do? Let's see. Sorry I've been so political so often this stream. But, man, the world is strange. It's been very, very eye-opening this year. Yeah, hopefully I didn't sound flippant about my grandma. She wasn't doing too hot beforehand. It was either gonna be this year or next year, basically. I see. I know how that feels. I know how that goes. There's sickness in this country that runs deeper than COVID. People would rather suffer than help others, and then there are folks in Washington who are just absolutely soulless. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Oh, that's too dark. Oh! Oh. Okay. Making noises at my drawing, I'm sorry. Oh, wait, let me do a different gradient. Oh, I hate it. Never mind. Yes. Oh! Oh, it's so... Oh, okay. Sorry, I got enamored in my drawing. Just completely... just going. Wait, what am I doing? There we go. Yeah, loss is hard. There's been so many, like... there's been so many losses this year. Like... freaking... Chadwick Boseman. That's how you say his name, right? Chadwick. I kind of lost my mind when he passed away. That was the worst. That was a terrible thing to wake up to. And then, I don't know why I'm blanking on his name, Jeopardy guy. That also hit me surprisingly really hard. It just hurts when, like, people that you don't even necessarily know, like, loss in general hurts. But it's always weird when, like, someone you don't really necessarily know, but is like a figure, passes away. If you know what I mean? It's just a strange experience. Like an important figure. Like... why am I blanking on his name? I'm so upset with myself. I'm really bad with names. Jeopardy. Alex Trebek. Thank you. Okay. See, like, it wasn't like I had any, like, personal attachment to Jeopardy, even. I watched Jeopardy a little bit when I was younger with my mom. But it's like Jeopardy was such a staple to, like, I want to say American culture. I don't know how international Jeopardy is. And then, like, Alex Trebek was part of that. So it's kind of weird. It's so weird to, like, hear about him just being gone. It's like suddenly this figure that was just part of the world just disappeared. And it's hard. It's so... it's creepy. Death and loss is just such a scary thing. So I've been talking about a lot of politics and death during this stream. But I feel like it's a cathartic thing to talk about, especially this year. Yeah, he was a household name. That's a good way to... That's what I was looking for. A lot of people bonded over Jeopardy, yeah. Yarkwork, yeah. There's such a... I don't know, like... loss with, like, personal, like, friends and family. It's such a strange thing to, like, realize, to think about your mortality. And I'm sure, like, not sure, like, everybody's been thinking about their mortality this year. Especially this year. Oh. I'm very concentrated on this. on this shading right now. Sorry. Sorry for apologizing for nothing. I keep doing it. It's a habit. Getting back into that habit. Don't be in that habit. Take Cap's advice. Say thank you instead of sorry. Oh, that's so bright. That's too bright. It's too much. I'm gonna do red. Oh, I got so quiet. I'm sorry. Spoonie's darkness hours. Listen, it's a bad habit, I think. And this is why I started jokingly calling myself the Grim Reaper. I talk very nonchalantly about a lot of dark topics. It's just part of who I am. It's kind of like part of like my family, honestly. Because my mom does the same thing. We're too nonchalant about dark things. Like something my mom has always said is, no matter what happens, you'll be okay. Which is a nice sentiment. But she means like anything. She means like, if she like passes away, we'll be okay. It'll be okay, no matter what happens. If something terrible happens, it'll be okay, no matter what happens. That kind of deal. Which is also a nice sentiment. Stan Cap. I love Cap. Important character. I'm almost done with this drawing. You're not gonna see it, but I'm almost done with it. You'll see it if you're over the age of 18 later. Life is such a strange thing, really. We're just clumps of matter that convinced ourselves we're alive, and then after a while we return to being clumps of matter. That's beautiful, Soul. That's actually really nice. It's a strangely comforting thought, actually. To remember that that's all we are. We're just matter. Getting real into this. It's the final stretch, I'm sorry. Oh! Thank you for bearing with me, I mean... I'm glad you can't wait to see. I can't wait for you all to see. It's gay time. End of the month, it's gay time. Nothing more than space dust. I think that being able to talk openly and genuinely about it and share thoughts about it with others, it makes it much less frightening and more comforting, I suppose. I like that. It's funny to me that I always get onto these dark topics about mortality and stuff, and kind of nonchalantly talk about death and mortality. The same thing. But, because it's honestly like one of my fears. I don't want to die. It's like one of those. It's strange, but like being able to talk about it nonchalantly, like with friends. It really does make it more comforting to know that we all have something in common. We're all inevitably going to we're going to die someday. We're all mortal. There is comfort in that. That we all share that same that same fear, I guess. Same inevitability. It's real ancient death god times right now, I believe. I've been through so much that I just don't take things as seriously as I should. I've been called macabre with my sense of humor, or macabre. Either way is right. I love the way the Golden Compass books illustrated it. I tend to be a bit of a nihilistic view towards the universe and everything that resides within. I tend to struggle with existential depression from time to time. It's understandable. And it's kind of nihilistic to kind of think of things like, well, we're just space dust that convinced itself we're alive, and then we just turn back into space dust. That's a nihilistic way to look at it, but I think it's also kind of comforting. Yeah, being spiritual helps with the fear. I'm spiritual in the same way that Angus is spiritual, I think. I've always been kind of, I've been skeptic. I think it's good to be skeptical. Oh, that's too bright. It's always good to question things, I think. It's way better. How do I want to shade this or highlight this? Do the lighting. Here I go. I think I hold myself back from talking about darker stuff like that because I know how to talk about how I talk about it makes people uncomfortable, but I had an NDE when I was a child, so I think of death differently. Near-death experience. Gotcha. Oh, I love Pastor K. Pastor K says some great things. Pastor K is truly how I think about... I just want more religious people to be like Pastor K. I'm glad that most of my religious experiences growing up were positive. Granted, what kid wants to go to church? Church is boring, but I mostly had good religious experiences. Have I ever told you guys? I'm sure I have. Have I ever told you guys about being slain in the spirit? Tell your roommates they're losers. I'll do a cookout with you. We should have an online cookout. Stream where I just cook out. On my roof. It's too cold. I can't do that. Maybe when it gets warm again, we can have an online cookout. Oh! You were dragging your parents to church? That's really funny. Alright, let's talk about being slain in the spirit. So, I wonder if there's an actual technical term for it. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna read about it. Slain in the spirit, or slaying in the spirit, this music is perfect for me talking about this, are terms used by Pentecostal and charismatic Christians to describe a form of prostration in which an individual falls to the floor while experiencing religious ecstasy. Believers attribute this behavior to the power of the Holy Spirit. Other terms used to describe the experience include falling under the power, overcome by the Spirit, and resting in the Spirit. The practice is associated with faith healing because individuals are often slain while seeking prayer for illness. So, that sounds a little wacky. That sounds wacky. Um, um, sorry, that's my alarm telling me to stop streaming, but I'm almost done. Leave me alone. Stop. Stop. I swear to God. So, my story about being slain in the spirit. So, when I first heard about it, it was when I was like when I was in my atheist stage as a kid. But I was still going to church. And, so this visitor pastor came to our church. And, he was really chill. He had a lot of interesting stories. He apparently did a lot of like exorcisms and did a lot of faith healing, and was talking about doing some faith healing. And so he said, if you would like to be healed, in whether it be emotionally, physically, we can do that right now. And so a bunch of people had crowded onto the stage, and I was watching, and he would go over to them and clasp his hands around their hands and start praying, and they would fall backwards. Somebody would catch them, and then they would like pull them over somewhere, and they would just lay on the ground for however long that it took for them to quote unquote heal. So he told us stories about like how this guy's like back was healed this way, like people who had like depression and stuff were healed this way. And I was like, okay, this is a bunch of bullcrap. This is a group hypnosis. That's what this is. So these people are just falling because they know they're going to fall. And so it's a hypnosis thing, right? That's what I figured. So I was like, I'm gonna go up there. I don't need to be healed. I just want to see how, like, I just want to prove them wrong. I just want to show them that it's not gonna work on me. Lo and behold, this pastor, which is probably the most interesting man I ever met in my life. He had such a powerful energy. This pastor comes up to me, holds my hands in his hands, starts praying for me. And in the middle of his prayer, he starts speaking in tongues. Which, if you don't know what speaking in tongues is, it's there's an actual term for it. I forget what it is. Sometimes it's gibberish. Sometimes people start speaking languages they don't know themselves. So we started doing that. And then I started speaking in tongues, uncontrollably. And then I fell backwards, even though I was convinced that it wasn't going to work. And I laid there for a minute, and my mom kind of sat over me and had her hand like on my shoulder, and she started speaking in tongues. And then I just kind of laid there and then just kind of mouthed to myself whatever prayers were coming to my body, coming to my being. And then I remember the exact moment, like I opened my eyes and looked at my mom, and she was like, "Are you ready?" And I was like, "Yeah." Changing experience I've probably ever had in my life. I was like, okay, magic's real. Okay, and like the thing is, even if that was group hypnosis, that's still magic. That's still pretty amazing. It sounds more demonic than holy. Probably. I wasn't scared. Like, even though I had denied, like, I was in denial, and I was like, this isn't real. This isn't real. And I was like, I'm gonna show them that this isn't gonna happen. And that this isn't gonna work. I don't remember a time in my life I felt more comfortable. I wasn't embarrassed that I was laying on the ground of the stage of my church. I wasn't embarrassed that my mom was praying in tongues over me. That it was like the most peaceful I've ever felt in my life, and that's part of what makes it feel like it was important, if that makes any sense. This story sounds completely untrue, but I swear to you, this happened to me. This happened to me when I was like 14. I remember telling my Catholic friend about it, and I think in Catholicism, speaking in tongues is seen as demonic, and she was freaked out. She was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. A lot of religions, a lot of denominations consider speaking in tongues demonic. But that's my spiritual story. Got some wild ass stories like that too. I'm glad you told that story. I'm not gonna get into it. I know you gotta go soup, but I'm just saying. Oh no, if you want to get into it, I'm wrapping up my drawing right here. I'm almost done, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to make soup. That'll take too long. I might try something else. But glad you guys enjoyed that story. It's a really important story to me. You want to try it? You want to try getting slain in the spirit, or you want to try my soup? Two very different things. What was so important about that experience, though, for me, was that it was at a time where I just didn't believe in God. And that was just kind of like God being like, ha! Ha! Guess what? Even if it wasn't God, even if it was just group hypnosis, it felt like life lined up to be like, listen, the universe is crazy. The universe is absolutely crazy. And these things can happen. And it's scary and amazing and beautiful. And I want you to feel this. So, I think I'm done with my gay artwork. Only took me 3 hours. Hello, Cosmo. I'm sorry. I'm very nearly wrapping up, but if we want to... You have my full undivided attention now. I'm not working on my art. Oh. Press the wrong button. No. Save. It is saved. No! What? What are you doing? Save. Hi, Cosmo. You missed my craziest religious experience talk. Spiritual experience. Just imagine hearing the Skyrim chant. I don't know how to describe speaking in tongues. It's not really like chanting. It's more like, I just imagine someone praying real fast, and then as they're praying and like speaking like really softly and like going, just imagine that suddenly their words start to like jumble and they don't sound like words anymore. That just sounds like gibberish. That's what it was like. A lot of people consider like speaking in tongues like this really scary, like demonic sounding. No, it's not that. No, it's not that. I would start speaking in tongues during the stream, but I'm afraid. I just start praying to Jesus in tongues. Let's go. Oh man. Spiritual solidarity light. Damn. Anyway, this has been a fun stream. I'm glad you guys have enjoyed it. I really wasn't sure how this was gonna go, but maybe I have to do this more often where we just kind of chat. We've had some deep talks, we've had some funny talks. had a heavy day today. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I hope your day gets better. And I hope tomorrow is better for you. Things will look up. Yeah, chatting streams should be more regular. We went on for 3 hours. I can't believe it. It's wild. Got some more off music. What song should we sign out to? Let's see. No thoughts, head empty. I have a playlist called that. This. Just a day. Enjoyed this. I haven't been able to catch your streams in a while, but I'm glad I could be here for this one. I'm glad you could be here too. This has been extremely fun. Oh, therapy's good. I didn't realize how huge just talking on Twitch is. But I'm gonna sign out to the UFO theme from Silent Hill. Hope you enjoy me just dancing. But thank you all. Thank you all for coming. This has been so fun. Next stream is gonna be Tuesday? Wednesday. Tuesday's my anniversary. Wednesday. Smack dab between my anniversary and Thanksgiving. We're gonna stream the rest of Night in the Woods. Don't miss it. Not Silent Hill. Don't listen to the song. I forgot that is in this song. This is what it sounds like in my brain all the time. I just want you to know that. This is what my brain sounds like. It just says Silent Hill 4 times the same way. And then Friday, next Friday, we can have a Pokemon donation stream. I'll figure out what charity. To donate to. Let's go, everyone. Let's go, fam.